This video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball app makes it easier to keep up to date with the transfer news, scores and stats in one place. To download the OneFootball app, click the link in the description. Hi everyone, good afternoon. So you would have seen Paul and myself in the quick thought earlier on. Look, it was heat the moment stuff, we're a little bit disappointed, but now we've had a little 10-20 minutes to think about it. So Paul, shall we begin positive and negativities?
Why not start on a positive?
So positive, yes, right. So if I said to you, Newcastle have broken their transfer records and we've got 3 points from these two games, you would have went, fuck off, Lee.
I would have, and I've been asked you what you've been smoking, to be honest, because you wouldn't expect either, would you? I don't know which was the biggest miracle, to be honest. They're getting the record, or they're beating the Man City.
Man City. We can easily break world record, it's just the board don't want to.
Well, yeah, true. The board, as in Ashley and his love child, yeah. Yeah, so at the end of the day, over the moon of what we managed to do. I said before in the video that I did yesterday, this shouldn't be sort of it should be like the norm basically for Newcastle United. £20 million players, because at the end of the day, Championship clubs are making that. The likes of Bournemouth and clubs of that stature are making these type of signings. So it should not really be anything special. But because of how we have been run, it felt a lot more, to the fans.
You're very mellow. We're coming on the negativity stuff in a moment. More positives is now we've got a bit of a breather with games coming up. We've only got one game the next 2.5 weeks, which is probably coming at a great time for getting Almiron in, settling with the first team, getting a lot of injuries back as well. Good timing.
It is, yeah, because there's the likes of Longstaff who, because he's so young, he does need taken out, and other players coming in and being brought, out and back in. So yeah, it's coming at the perfect time. We'll get Diami fit, we'll get Shelby fit, Key as well. It's going to give us options. The bench is going to look a lot better, although we'll probably still have Joselu on the bench, so better up to a certain degree. And then we can really attack these last, clump of games, and there's some winnable games in there. We'll have some players back, we can rotate, we can keep it fresh.
We've only got out the big teams left, Arsenal and Liverpool. The rest are all amongst mid-table downwards.
Yeah, and we're capable of giving these teams a game. We've not been blown away in any of the games that we played, and even again today, 1-0 against a team who are currently sitting in second. Yes, it was a dire game, it was awful on the eye. I've been to rowdier doctors' receptions than what was in there.
What do you make of that? Because Spurs, let's talk about the game then. Spurs did not look like a side. They don't care, they got 3 points. So congratulations, first of all, Spurs fans.
Yeah, we're not bitter.
We're not bitter, I know. The atmosphere was very flat. There's probably a lot of things behind the scenes with Spurs, with the ownership not spending money to transfer windows. That'll probably take a factor. They're travelling the other end of London to come here. However, it felt really bizarre. We were next to each other and we're like, is this happening? It felt like it was slow paced, it was testimonial, it was like a friendly kind of atmosphere. Very poor.
It was like an open training session. It was dire. That there just seemed to be lots of tourists about inside the stadium. It was nowhere near full. It was nowhere near probably even halfway full. The Spurs support was so quiet, and I wouldn't have said that. They come across as a big club and this, that and the other, but to be fair, don't want to be too controversial.
Because it was. No, let's be honest. The atmosphere was shite the day.
It was absolutely. It was the worst one that I think I've ever been to, and I've gone to Burnley's, I've gone to Barnsley's, I've gone to Blackburn's, I've been all over watching Newcastle play, and by far that was the worst atmosphere that
it has for me as well this season. That's been very poor. But
and not just that, but it was all of the. When we went to Nottingham Forest and they're playing the videos, the videos and stuff of yesteryear, and it was just like piped in music, which I'm not a fan of, and it was flashing lights and trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. It really was. It was a bit embarrassing, to be honest.
I do think though, I've just realised I'm wearing my coat inside out. Great. Anyways, I do.
Fashion statement.
It's a fashion statement.
Yeah.
I think if that was at Spurs' ground, it'd be a totally different atmosphere. So I will stick with the first match. I think it'll be a lot more because they're at home, they're at the lane. The game, We've done well to hang on. Nothing much going forward. Yes, we did hit the post with Rondon, but apart from that, maybe Perez was the only bright spark for me. But you've got to point the finger a little bit at Dubravka. He has to save that for me.
Of course he does. You could have thrown your hat on it, you really could have. But the lad has pulled us out of more situations and got us out of more trouble than He-Man and Batman combined, hasn't he? So I'm not going to criticise the lad. He's been absolutely fantastic for us. Both for peanuts, performing miracles. He will know himself that he should have saved that, and that would have been a scrappy, not really well deserved point, but a welcome point most certainly. So it's good to come so close to the end, but I'm not going to hold it against him. The lad has been phenomenal, absolutely fantastic, and one of our players of the season, no doubt.
I think the lineup forced itself because look, we didn't have no one else. We're great winning midweek, but during the game, Paul, I've said this before, is that I'm critical of Rafa because during the in-game, when we're losing, you just won't change it mixed up and go 3 at the back, or go 3-4-3 or 4-4-2, or just something different. And it was very like for like. And me calling for Hosler to come off the bench is probably problems in itself, but what I'm trying to say is it's a striker sitting on the bench. Go for it, Rafa. You may as well lose 2-0 or 1-0.
Yeah, I mean,
wrap it up, his battery's low.
Yeah, if you think about, bringing Joselu on at any time, you've got to think it's not going to do much for his confidence being overlooked when we're 1-0 down with 5 minutes to go. If you're Joselu, you're going to think, well, manager's got no faith in us, but he's stubborn, he sticks to his principles, he won't change that formation, and he brought on a left wing back for a left wing back, didn't he, when we were trying to trail him right at the end. So that's Rafa. He's won those points, so again we've got to take the rough with the smooth. But yeah, I share your frustrations in the fact that I felt as if we could have just thrown an extra body on there. You don't know, knocked down like what we've had, we did clip the barn and that sort of thing. You never know. You cause some trouble up there, you get a free kick, you get a penalty, you get something, and we come away with an unlikely point. So yeah, Rafa stubborn as ever, but again, can we be too critical of him for what he's had to put up with at Newcastle United and the points he has won us? Yeah, we can't be too critical, really, can you? Frustration,
right? That is it. Let us know. You'll see Paul later on in one of the ratings or reviews. Get your comments down there below what you think of tonight's game. Thanks. Bye bye.